How did the ancient Egyptians build such massive pyramids without modern technology? Imagine this. You're standing in the scorching sun of ancient Egypt, 4,500 years ago. There are no cranes, no bulldozers, not even wheels are commonly used yet. Just endless desert, human hands, and stone. Tons and tons of stone. And yet, rising before your eyes is one of the most jaw-dropping feats of engineering in human history, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Towering 146 meters high, made from over 2 million limestone blocks, some weighing as much as a modern-day truck. No steel, no electricity, just pure human will and genius. So, how in the world did they do it? This isn't just a question for archaeologists. It's a riddle that has fascinated scientists, engineers, and conspiracy theorists alike for centuries. Some say it was slave labor. Others whisper of aliens. But the truth? It's far more human and far more incredible than fiction. 1. Insane human power. For years, we imagined the pyramids were built by slaves, whipped and forced to haul giant stones under the burning sun. But modern research tells a different story. These weren't slaves. They were skilled workers, paid laborers, men who gave their sweat, strength, and even their lives to something greater than themselves. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence of well-fed workers who lived in nearby villages, rotated in shifts, and were buried with honor near the very pyramids they helped build. This wasn't a prison camp. It was a national project. It's estimated that between 20,000 to 30,000 workers took part in the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Day and night, they toiled in teams, stonemasons, haulers, surveyors, architects, all moving with clockwork precision in the absence of modern machines. This wasn't chaos. This was coordination on a scale the ancient world had rarely seen. 2. How did they move stones that big? We're talking about stones the size of cars, millions of them. Limestone for the outer layers, quarried nearby. But granite, that came from Aswan, over 800 kilometers away. No trucks, no forklifts, no diesel engines rumbling through the desert. So how? The answer lies not in brute strength, but in brilliant simplicity. On the walls of an ancient Egyptian tomb, there's a mysterious painting. A group of men dragging a massive statue on a wooden sledge, and in front of them, a man pouring water onto the sand. At first, this detail seemed trivial, but modern physics tells us it's genius. When sand is dry, it clumps and grips. But add just the right amount of water, and it becomes smooth, slippery, almost like gliding on ice. Tests show that dampening the sand can reduce friction by up to 50%. That's not a myth, that's science, 4,500 years ahead of its time. With sledges, wet sand, and perfectly timed teamwork, they moved mountains. 3. How did they lift the stones to the top? This is the part that truly blows the mind. It's one thing to drag heavy blocks across the desert, but stacking them perfectly 146 meters high, without cranes, without pulleys, without even iron tools? So how did they do it? The truth is, we still don't know for sure, but here are the leading theories. The straight ramp. A massive ramp built directly in front of the pyramid. As the pyramid grew taller, the ramp got longer and steeper. It would have required more material than the pyramid itself and left no trace behind. The spiral ramp. A winding ramp curling around the pyramid's exterior like a stone spiral staircase. Elegant. Possible. But wouldn't it block the builder's view and precision? The internal ramp. A modern theory suggests something wild. A zigzagging ramp hidden inside the pyramid's outer shell. If true, that means the Great Pyramid is not just a monument, but a machine in disguise. To this day, archaeologists debate the answer. But one thing's clear. Whatever method they used, it took civil engineering on a godlike level, done thousands of years before computers, calculators, or even basic blueprints. 4. Precision without digital tools. If you think the Great Pyramid is just a pile of rocks, think again. This monument isn't just massive, it's precise. Its base forms an almost perfect square, and its alignment? Nearly flawless. The sides of the Great Pyramid point almost exactly to true north, off by only 0.067 degrees. How? No GPS, no lasers, no AutoCAD. Just the stars, the sun, and a mind-blowing grasp of the natural world. Experts believe the Egyptians used the sun's shadow to determine cardinal directions during specific times of the year. Ancient pole stars for nighttime calibration. Simple tools, ropes, plumb bobs, straightedges, and primitive water levels to measure distance and elevation with shocking accuracy. What they lacked in silicon chips, they made up for in sheer observational genius. It wasn't digital tech, but it was analog mastery. Thousands of years ahead of its time. Project management. Thousands of years before project management existed. The Great Pyramid didn't rise in a week. It took around 20 years, 2 whole decades of relentless planning, coordination, and execution. Think about it. Tens of thousands of workers had to be fed and housed every single day. Millions of stones had to be quarried, shaped, transported, and placed, with almost zero margin for error. Teams of laborers, engineers, architects, and logisticians had to move in perfect sync, without phones, emails, or spreadsheets. This wasn't just ancient construction, it was ancient project management, on a national scale. Modern scholars believe the pyramid's success proves that ancient Egypt had a powerful government, a sophisticated bureaucracy, and a deeply rooted system of organization. This was the most advanced management system of its time, long before anyone had heard the word manager. Sphinx, a spiritual and political masterpiece. To the ancient Egyptians, the pyramid wasn't just a tomb. It was a stairway to the stars, a sacred path for the pharaoh's soul to ascend to the afterlife. It was also a monument of power, built to declare one divine truth. The king is not just a ruler, he is the living representative of the gods on earth. Every stone placed, every life dedicated, every year spent building the pyramid served a higher purpose. This wasn't just construction, it was worship, it was propaganda. It was a declaration carved in stone. Here lies the God King, and no force on earth shall erase his name. So it's no wonder they poured their entire nation's strength into these colossal structures. The pyramids were the ultimate national project, both spiritual and political in the highest sense. It was never about technology, it was about mind and will. So if you ask, how did the ancient Egyptians build something so massive without modern machines? The answer is simple: with brilliance, with planning, with relentless effort, and with a vision bigger than themselves. The Great Pyramid isn't just a symbol of Egypt's glory, it's living proof that humanity can create wonders, not because of what we have, but because of what we believe, what we know, and what we're willing to do together. No cranes, no code, no concrete. Just human brains, hands, and hearts, focused on a single, sacred purpose.